Ladies and gentlemen, load up your lungs and your loyalties, 'cause riding into this arena tonight, here come the Gunslingers! This whole wide range. Here come the Gunslingers. Let 'em bang, let 'em bang. Hey! Black hats, bright glare, boot stomp, crowd stare.
I take 1 week away from the show, and Leo, you replaced the theme music on me.
I did.
Richard Autry, the Gunslingers theme, a song written directly for this team, and optioned over to our podcast so that we could play it for you. You got the full song last week if you tuned in with Leo and Ralph and head coach Jonathan Bain. This is a Smoking Guns podcast. I am Philip Higginbotham, one of your hosts for the next hour and a half or so. We're gonna cut out a little early. There's a Spurs game tonight that some of us want to see. One of those people that wants to see it is this guy right over here, Leo.
Yeah. What's up, Smoking Guns Posse?
And then we have Chewbacca, maybe, down here in the bottom of the screen.
I can speak Wookiee. She said, "Hello, beautiful people."
That's good. Good deal. There's so much going on around our show today that has nothing to do with the Gunslingers. It is Star Wars Day. It is May the 4th. You can see RC in her Star Wars pajamas there, or whatever that is. Is it just a hoodie, or is it like a full pajama set there?
It's a whole pajamas. It's a onesie, baby.
That's what I figured.
It's a onesie.
Leo wearing the Gunslingers fan jersey, Star Wars night from last year. I am wearing the one from 2023, I believe, the first year of the Star Wars fan jerseys. We're all set up for Star Wars night. May the 4th be with you. There you go, Agnes already chiming in. Plus, this is our 6th season, and it is our 7th episode of the season. So, RC, 6, 7? It is. Leo refuses. Leo won't get involved, but it is. It's episode 6, 7.
I will not participate.
Episode 7, and it is the episode after another big win. The San Antonio Gunslingers go out to Tucson, take on the Sugar Skulls, come back with a win, 35-17. Impressive in some ways. Still some areas to work on in some others, and we'll talk about all of that. Josh chiming in and saying, hey, you haven't mentioned the win yet. There we go. We just mentioned the win. Agnes, we need to play the song during a home game. You know what? I'm going to make sure I reach out to the Gunslingers and know that that's available. I'm sure Ralph has already done that, but we want to make sure that they know that that song is available. And yes, I think it is a perfect song for them to. I think it'd be great when they're coming out of the tunnel, when they're coming out to the introductions there in Freeman Coliseum. Still be 2 weeks away because we don't have a home game until May 16th. We've got one more game on the road in Prescott Valley at are against the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Little time to waste, or little time to wait before we get back in.
Team we're familiar with.
Yeah, we beat them once. We actually kind of dominated them once. Now, I'm not going to say that we're going to dominate them again. I hope we do. I think we can.
Gunslingers are on the rise.
Yeah, let's start right there. The Gunslingers are on the rise. The defense is still looking amazing. The offense is looking better. I wouldn't call it perfect. There were still some issues, but the offense looking better. Fred Payton seems to be connecting a little better. He did get a big weapon back this week in Glenn Gibbons.
Good
back
to
on the
see
field.
Gibbons back, man.
Very helpful to have just an all-star sort of talent out there catching passes for you. That makes it a lot easier as a quarterback to find the guys, because one receiver doesn't just improve one receiver, right, Leo?
Right.
I mean, if coverages have to shift and they all have to be worried about Glenn Gibbons, all of a sudden things open up for guys like McShane, for guys like Austin Upshaw. We saw McShane have a great game. I thought he had a spectacular game.
Yes, he did. And so did Cook.
Right.
I mean,
it was good to see other guys coming in and making touchdowns. That's where, like, it wasn't just one person or two people. It was spread across the team.
Well, last week, I mean, we talked about, I've mentioned before having that one guy, and then someone I don't remember who it was, if it was Coach Bain or someone in the comments. I feel like it was someone in the comments that said, it doesn't have to be just one guy. Maybe it's going to be, or actually, I think it's actually probably Ralph who said that. And this week he was absolutely right, because it was kind of a three-headed monster. Well, four if you include Fred, but as far as the offense, the main guys, the main weapons were the ones that you just mentioned, Philip, with both Deons, McShane and Cook, and Gibbons. Now that he's back, great game for his first game of the season. I mean, they all contributed and had really good games, effective games. They were effective and much more efficient than in the past, at least from what we saw, because we only saw the second half of the game, unless you happened to be in Tucson, which was very unfortunate. But following the stats, seeing the highlights, and then watching the second half of the game, lots to be excited about moving forward. And when you think about that, we talked already about, they have a game coming up against Northern Arizona, now 2-3, technically in fourth place not technically, actually in fourth place in the Western Conference, which puts them in the playoff, right in the playoff run.
Yeah.
But when you think about who they've played to this point, Vegas Nighthawks, who seem absolutely unstoppable at this point, they dropped them. They dropped one to the Arizona Rattlers, a very good game on the road. They were very competitive in that one. And I just feel like the one that got away,
that game, that season opener against Tulsa, was
the home game against Tulsa. If they win that game right now, instead of 2-3, everybody's feeling really good, because they're 3-2 with a new head coach, a new offense, a completely revamped team, young and hungry, and everybody's buying in and excited. We're not quite there. Well, I think we're almost there after the second win, and Northern Arizona next on the schedule. But can you imagine if we had just got that one more game, how different things would be right now, 3-2 instead of 2-3. So, I mean, that's how big of a difference one game makes at the beginning of the season. Definitely a team on the rise, and some Gunslinger fans should be excited right now.
Yeah, I think so too. We're seeing some things that are great. We're seeing some things that are, getting better. We still got red zone offense issues though, Leo. I mean, we didn't see as many of them as there were, but at the end of the first half, Bain, talking with the sideline reporter, said that they gave up 2 red zone possessions that should have been scores, that instead were turnovers on downs. So there's still a hole here. There's still a hole we need to fill. Because you get the ball down to the red zone, you've got to score points. And look, I prefer touchdowns, but if all you get out of them are Tyler Huddle field goals, do that. Get points. Getting points is better than some points. I've done the math on this. Leo and RC, you may not believe me, but some points is more than no points. I crunched the numbers, and 3 points is still more than 0 points.
Check your calculator. I think that's right. Yeah,
I think
sounds
so.
right to me.
I think you're good on that one.
We did miss the first half. If you were at the watch party, I heard it turned into a read party there for a little while as Leo and Ralph were kind of scouring the website for statistics and play-by-play that they could give you something, but it turned into that. I don't do this often. Maybe I do. Do I complain a lot? Maybe I complain. Do I complain a lot, RC?
I would say yes.
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna complain again because I did put my money down. I did.
Surprise.
I am a paying customer for overnight, and that means there is no reason. Look, I understand that technical issues happen. I've done that side. I've been on the broadcast side of things, and I know things can go wonky right at game time. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
It should not take nearly 2 full quarters to right the ship. I understand missing a series. I understand missing maybe a quarter of the game, but the game does not pick up until 1 minute and 20 some odd seconds left in the first half. That's almost 2 full halves of football. You're a product that you said was worth paying for. You told me that as a customer. I believed you, and I gave you a year's worth of subscription money to have it. And now I'm missing a half of a game that I can't say. It's not like, well, I should have just gone to the game. That's not an option. It's in Tucson. This is not okay. This is not my expectation as a fan and as a customer is more. That's
what
frustrating.
was the mood at the
Absolutely.
watch party, Leo?
Well,
yeah,
it was still great. I mean, we had a good time, but just to touch on you, especially when you log in on the first screen you see where you're trying to stream the game, it says "Don't miss a moment." How ironic is that?
That's funny.
Moment. Well, hello.
No. I'm trying to not miss a moment, but this is on you overnight, not on me.
We still had a good time because the Gunslingers posse, the Smoking Guns posse, they're good people and they're fun people, and we're pretty. We'll make a party out of anything. So
right, sure.
Being there. First of all, I have to again say thank you to Ralph Judkins, who joined us last week to do the show with me and actually put this together with Matt from Mattenga's. So thank you, Matt. Thank you, Mattenga's. Thank you, Ralph. Thanks to all the awesome people at Mattenga's. There were a number of workers there that the service was great. The food was great. Mattenga's actually closes at 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
And the game, as you know, kickoff was 8:30. Yeah. And we didn't catch any of the first half. But they allowed us to stay there through the entire game. Once we got that up in the second half, all the way until the end, they started cleaning up around us. They were still, helpful and friendly and didn't matter. They kept telling us from the onset, you guys are good. Don't worry. As long as we can close up and clean up around you guys and you guys are good where you're at, we're fine. They stayed open just for us.
That's
as
awesome.
April says. That. Yeah. And we had a great time. The pizza, as usual, was great. Friendly people, like I said. And then everyone that came out and joined us, the Woods, Jason Wood, Hollywood, James Palmer and Jessica Palmer, David, can't think of his last name. Sorry, David, but David was there. Sorry?
Wayne David?
No, he was not there. As a matter of fact, he was upset because he put a comment in and said, I didn't see anything about a watch party on the Gunslingers Facebook page. Well, this wasn't on the Gunslingers Facebook page. It was on the fan page and it was on the Smoking Guns page. And I know that Smoking Guns followers shared the heck out of the thing because I saw them. So David Perry, thank you, Lolis. He just didn't look in the right spot. So sorry about that, Michael Wayne Davis. next one, I'll be sure and tag you or comment on you so you know. Yeah, we had people brought the mini bells. They were respectful, didn't bring the big loud bells because we're in a place of business.
That's good. Good thinking. Good thinking. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, were we upset that we couldn't watch the game for almost the entire first half? Yeah. Especially people that came out from very far distances and were tired from a long day of work. We did lose a couple of people just before the feed came up, and that's okay because we were all about ready to pack up at halftime, get home, and follow the rest of the game from home.
Right.
And then the feed came up, and I was like, "Whoa, okay." Then we stayed, and then just continued to stuff our faces with pizza and
now,
drinks and watch the game.
Now, Leo is telling part of the story, but Leo, there is a hero of the watch party that wasn't even there. A hero that wrote in on a white knight through text and said, "Wait, I found it. Check here." And you guys were able to see the rest of the game because things were shutting down. You had given up. All hope was lost. And then
who was that masked man?
A white knight rode in and saved the watch party from the coast of Texas by giving you some information that I got from someone else. Texting you and said, hey, I think if you go back, it's working now. And sure enough, it was.
And at the spur of the moment, Philip, because I'm telling you, you were the Lone Ranger, like at the last second coming in to save the day because we were packing up.
Oh my
Ralph
God.
brought his setup. Ralph set up his own laptop, connected, HDMI cable to the TV they have up there behind the bar table on the back, and had everything prepared to play. And when we couldn't play it, he was, with the IFL stat up and doing the play-by-play announcement by just reading off the stats. We were following the game via stats. We joked about how if it was going to be like that, the next time we'd just do it at the library because we were reading everything. But we were literally packing up, getting ready to go, and I get your text message, and Ralph had just started, like he was reaching for the cables, and I was like, hold on, I'm hearing that the feed might be up. And so he tried again, he refreshed and exit out the website back on his browser, and the feed was up, and then everybody sat right back down and enjoyed the very end of the first half and the rest of the game. Nobody left after that.
I was down here on the coast when the game started. I was back home, but I had just spent the entire week or the last half of the week in Waco. And then I drove from Waco back home. Well, I could have taken a detour through San Antonio from Waco to Palacios and come to the watch party. I really thought about it, but I was like, if I go, I'm going to have to leave about halftime because I've still got to get home. It's going to be late and I've got church in the morning. I've still got to get home. So I could only watch about the first half. Is it worth going to just watch the first half? And I really thought about it, but I got on the road a lot earlier than I expected. And at that point, it just didn't make sense to me to get there and then have to wait and then watch the first half and then get home late. Had I showed up to the watch party to watch the first half with you guys, I would have been miffed. And then I would have left and I would not have been on my phone able to see the message I got that I passed along to you, Leo. And so the entire watch party, just because of me, my one decision to go home to watch the show or watch the game instead saved the entire watch party. And you know what? That's what I'm here for. That's who I am. That's the kind of person I am.
So are we supposed to bow down to you?
A hero.
Where's your white hat? You need a white hat.
No, I'm glad it got taken care of. I'm glad we at least get to watch the second half of the game. The game is incredible. Hey, look who's in the comments section. Head coach Jonathan Bain. Congratulations, coach.
Yeah, congrats.
I wondered earlier today, as I was thinking about it, they just won in Tucson. They got to be in Prescott Valley this week. Did they just stay? Why not just stay in Arizona?
Yeah,
I wonder if it's more expensive to just stay in Arizona than it is to take 2 trips out there on bus or
maybe
on plane.
But then also, where do you practice? Where do you practice?
Yeah, that's true. And where are you going to eat pizza?
And the facilities and work out and lift weights, and that might be a challenge.
Call Kevin Guy and see if you can borrow whatever facility they use. I'm sure he'd be fine with that. He seems like a really. I'm gonna go into Kevin Guy later. I got more Kevin Guy stuff.
Oh Lord,
Because
here we go.
Kevin Guy,
I know. I figured.
Kevin Guy is still just a
Is it
tool.
still that tool, right? We just don't know
he's a
what
t-
tool.
He's a tool.
He's
And
a
we're going
tool.
to talk more about it. I don't get into it right now because I think RC, do we still have a guest coming on?
Yeah, she should be coming on.
Okay.
Our
Good, great.
head athletic trainer.
That's why, yeah. I was gonna hold that part, but that's great. No,
Oh.
Megan Ray will be. It's Megan Ray, right? I got
Yes,
that right.
Megan Ray.
Yeah. She should be on here in a few minutes. We're going to talk to her about the work she's done with the Gunslingers for a while. She was. Is it 5 years? 5 seasons?
5 years.
Awesome. She
Yep.
started out working with Sochi back in the day, and then when Sochi and Brian left, she became the person, and she's like, it takes one to recognize one, but she's like a hero too. She's
is.
almost on the same level of hero as I am. Just we're
Except
right
she
there.
can.
Like 6'7"
Except-
level? I don't think so.
She can jump over walls. You
That
can't
is
jump
true.
over
Can you
walls.
jump
Philip.
over a wall,
You don't have
Philip?
that superpower.
I
Can you
can
show
get
us
over
that?
the wall. Maybe
If you get a push,
yeah, somebody gives me
we
a
gotta push you over the wall.
She doesn't need a
somebody
push. She
give
just does it. We
Yeah.
need like a crane or something. I don't know.
a crane.
A crane to get you
Ow.
over the wall.
Wow.
You think you're hopping over the wall?
I mean, no, I think I'm like rolling over the wall, but I don't think I need a crane to get over the wall. Hero,
Well, you know
I
what?
just said a
Show
push.
us.
That's all I
RC.
said.
Show us.
Heroes have feelings. That hurts.
Oh my Lanta.
Oh, he might get over the wall, but it would hit the ground and not be able to get back up. That's probably true, James. James Palmer checking in.
That could be, yes.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could like roll over the wall, and if my feet hit the ground first, I might be good. If my whole body goes down, might be a few minutes before I'm up.
Maybe instead of the kick for cash, we could see who can jump over the wall for money.
No, I'm out on that.
I think they'd be giving
I'll
away
try
a
for
the
lot of
kick for
money.
cash, but I'm out on that.
All right,
No,
all right. Just a thought.
Leo, the defense is still looking amazing. How amazing is the defense looking? How many points did the defense allow in the second half of this weekend's game, Leo?
Settle a big fat nothing goose egg in the second half.
That is incredible to hold any
Yes.
team to 0 points in the indoor football league. Any team. I don't care if it's Tucson. I don't care if it's New Mexico.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care if it's Northern Arizona. Any team to hold them to 0 points through a half of football is impressive.
In 3 quarters, they only had points in 1 quarter, one of the 4.
The
But
second
yes, the entire
Yeah.
second half. Yeah, they scored in the second half. It's the only time the Tucson Sugar Cookies scored.
Definitely
Dang it, I was
an improvement.
I was supposed to buy some sugar cookies for this show, and I completely
Oh,
forgot.
that's right.
Dang, lost opportunity.
quarter.
Sorry, James Palmer. He gave me a great idea. Totally blew it.
So we are looking at a 2-3 record right now. Now, back a couple of weeks ago, we had lost to Vegas in what was the most disheartening loss that we've had in recent memory. Like we were just beat. We were just beat kind of all over the field by a really, really good football team. And
Yeah.
I made a comment directly after that game to a fan that will remain nameless that, hey, if we win the next 3 and go 3-3, we just press reset button on the season. It's a little shorter season and we can go. And that fan said, yeah, right. Look where we are now. We're 1 game away and a team that we've already dominated once. Not saying we're going to do it again, but we did once. From being 3-3 and just hitting a reset, sort of a soft reset on the season and getting back into the swing of this thing. It's entirely possible that that's what's going to happen.
That is what's going to happen.
I'm calling it a W
calling it.
already. 3 in a row, baby.
3 in a row. We've got 2 in a row now. which is why this episode, other than being episode 6-7, it's called Sweet Tooth, as in two, because we got 2 in a row, and the sugar cookie is the sweet tooth. My wife, I told her what I was calling the show, and she's like, "That's bad. That's really bad." So I knew I had the right pun and joke.
Go for it.
Loaded up. If my wife was like, "That's really bad." What did you see that you just loved, Leo?
That I just loved. Well, I mean, from my vantage point, I couldn't hear a lot from the broadcast, so just seeing is really all I did was see. But I liked seeing Fred Payton Jr. hitting receivers in stride, running their route.
Yes. Ooh, that's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that
we need to
looks good.
see. We need to see more of that. He's not quite there yet, but
seemed to have a little more time this particular time out than he has in the past. Here's something I'm looking at. I'm looking over the scoring summary, and everywhere I see a guy's name appear, the next 3 words is "kick is good." It's your favorite person, Leo, and he went perfect again. Who is that?
Well, I'm gonna do it anyways, even though you're incorrect. Tyler Huddle. I was doing it at Mattenga's.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always gonna root for my guy. I'm
The
always
kicker.
gonna yell out his name, but he did miss at least one extra point that I could think of. I think he missed one in the game.
Was it before or after he got tackled?
Well, no, it says extra points, 5 of 5. No, you know what? You're right.
No, everything
he hit
I'm seeing is good.
Yeah, it was a field goal he missed. It was a field goal.
Yeah, he did miss on a field goal.
But that's my guy, the thicker kicker, Tyler Huddle, man. Yeah, I was yelling his name.
How'd you feel when they went ahead and tackled him early on there, or not early, but roughed the kicker?
Not good. I didn't like it. Didn't like
don't
it
like
at
that.
all.
Don't like that. We get angry when that happens. Yeah,
For sure. You saw a familiar face also in the Tucson Sugar Skulls coaching staff. Did you catch one James Fuller coaching over there for the offensive coordinator for the Sugar Skulls?
I did not see Coach Fuller over there. Wow,
yeah, Coach Fuller is the OC over there. Yeah.
By the way, other thing I loved, you already touched on it, but I'm just going to give the official stat. You said it seemed like Fred Taylor had more time. 1 sack for the entire game. It's big. 1 sack. Huge difference. Yes.
We like that. We like that. We like 0 sacks, but we'll take 1.
Speaking of players getting injured, because that can happen on a sack, let's bring in our guest. It's Megan Ray, 5 seasons with the San Antonio Gunslingers. She's your head athletic trainer. Megan, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're doing
great. Well.
We're
now,
good. What's up, Megan?
We're gonna talk to you a lot about the athletic training side of things, but I know because I watch all of Robert Seco's stuff that comes out, and I saw you featured in one last year, that you don't just do the athletic training. You are kind of responsible for hurting all of these gentlemen everywhere they go when you guys are on the road, aren't you? You're the one that makes sure all the bags get packed, they all get on the plane. You're kind of the one making sure everything gets where it's going, right?
Yes, absolutely. I hold the title of head athletic trainer and equipment manager, but really it's always hands on deck. So whatever needs to be done, whoever needs help, I'm always there to help out. So
very cool. So 22 players, coaching staff, equipment, all of that is do you have just a clipboard you walk around with when you travel all the time, or are you doing all that in your head?
Honestly, at this point, I do it all in my head now because this is my 5th season. So it's just the same routine every single time, just with different people. And now I have an intern staff of about 10 interns. So they all kind of help me here and there in whatever task that I need to do.
You've been with the Gunslingers
with the Gunslingers.
What was that? How
did you first get involved with the Gunslingers?
Wow. It's actually kind of like a crazy story because I started with the team before our current ownership took over. And so at the time before Don Rackler had taken over the team, they had a team, but they didn't have an athletic trainer. And I knew some of the players prior to like just college experience that I had when I was in college. And so a couple of guys reached out there like, hey, we don't have an athletic trainer. Do you think you would mind like taping us on games and all this stuff? So I started to like go to the games just to tape the guys, and then I would leave. I wouldn't even stay to watch the games. And so eventually, when Don and them took over, I was approached by them to see if I would like to stay on as the athletic trainer. And so I stayed, and I've been there ever since, which is crazy because I started with them when I was 22, so fresh out of undergrad as an athletic trainer. Just got my license, hadn't really done a whole lot on my own yet, but now I've been with them for a very long time.
Yeah, Megan. And we're grateful to have you, by the way. We are very lucky to have you, and we can't thank you enough. I can't stress enough to the people that don't know just how big a part of this team that you are. I mean, they should be asking you for your autograph if they aren't already after the games. Like, give us people some. I know you probably don't like to brag about yourself, but we want you to brag about yourself on this show. Give everyone an example of your day, just on a, like Philip mentioned, a travel day, but not even a travel day, just like on a regular any given practice day. Like tell everyone what your day is like from the start, which is before the sun even comes up, I know. So
yes. My days are very long, so I usually wake up around 4:30 in the morning. I get ready, and then I head to the facility. I might have my staff of interns get there around 5:15, but I get there before them, so I try to get there around 4:45, 5 o'clock. We start field setup, so we've got to put up the water, the Gatorade, the cold towels, and then as equipment manager, I also put all of the football equipment out in the field. I also have to put out all the players' loops and the towels in their lockers so that they're ready for them in the morning. The guys get there around 6 o'clock. We start taping. We do morning treatments just to get them ready for practice. Then I go out on the practice field with them. I sometimes help film practice if one of the coaches or somebody else isn't able to help. And then my interns and I walk around. We water the players. If anyone gets injured, we do injury evals on the sideline during practice. And then once practice wraps up around like 10, 11 o'clock, then we tear down the field, we put water out to lunch, and then my staff and I go into the training room. We start treatment. I wait for the players to finish showering. I start their laundry, and then we eat lunch. And then usually I dismiss most of my interns. And once they are dismissed, I stay behind until players get out of meetings and I finish treatment. So I'm usually first one to get there, the last one to leave. And when I leave, it's like 2, 3 o'clock. Sometimes 4, but usually not that late. I make sure the facility's closed, everything's picked up. And then I also am pursuing my doctorate at the current moment. And so I come home, I do homework, and then I go to bed because I have to be up very early the next morning.
Wow, I'm exhausted just listening to you.
That's amazing. Yeah. There's a movie coming out about you pretty soon, the Supergirl movie, because you are just incredible.
Thank you. I couldn't do it without all my interns. I am so grateful for them every single day, and to be blessed to have a staff of 10 people that are excited and hungry to be a part of the organization. And the honor it is to have them want to learn from me is just an amazing feeling. So it's just great to have all of them. And the coaches are extremely helpful, and they're always checking in to make sure if we need anything. And then, of course, the guys are extremely respectful, and they always are the first ones to lend a helping hand, especially with equipment at the end of practice. Quarterbacks always take care of the balls for me. O-line always helps pick up some equipment. So it's always all hands on deck, but it's nice to always feel like I have the support of everyone behind me.
One of my favorite things about good athletic trainers, and you're one of those, is that on game day, when an injury happens, the uniform the injured player's wearing doesn't matter. There's bigger things than football going on, and if somebody is down and injured, I have seen you multiple times be the first one there, even if they're not our guys, even if they're not on our team. And that's not unique to you, but I've also seen athletic trainers that do only take care of their guys. And I really appreciate the fact that in that moment, this organization and you specifically have the desire to make sure everybody is healthy, whether they're wearing a Wranglers jersey or a Gunslingers jersey. You're willing to jump over a wall, which we've seen you do, to be out on the field and take care of somebody, no matter what uniform they're wearing.
Yes, absolutely. And I've done it many times, and it's crazy because to me, I just look at them all as athletes. I just want to help and make sure that everyone's okay. But crazy enough, when we first moved into the IFL and we got players that we had like been on other teams that we played when we were in the NAL, that was the first thing they said to me. They were like, "Yeah, do you remember coming up to me when I was injured when I played for Carolina?" And I was like, "No." But I guess, like, to me, I just go out there and they're like, "No, I know you." And I'm like, "I'm glad you know me because I don't know you. However, I'm just glad you're okay." And so I always tell the other athletic trainers, like, I'm there to help. That's all I want to do is make sure that everyone's healthy and they can continue playing a game that they love. And I love watching players come back from injuries and continue playing. And so I'll jump over walls. I will save anybody in any type of capacity. I've taken hits before on the sideline. Like whatever I can do to help, I will always be there.
So my question is, what skill would you say helps prevent injuries?
This year we are blessed to have a strength and conditioning coach. And so between him and I, we are able to really work on the players staying flexible, mobility, and then just overall strength training in general. It really just keeps them healthy and off. And then we really instill in the players that when they're not injured, maintenance treatment does just as much for them as it does when they are injured. So in general, like health, nutrition, and strength is just the best way for the guys to stay healthy overall in the season. And so this year, the guys have been very well about making sure they take advantage of my knowledge, of Coach Mike, our strength coach's knowledge, and just using whatever they can for their resources to stay on the field the best they can.
Right.
Megan, you mentioned being, happy especially when you see guys come back from injury. How great was it this week to see Glenn Gibbons out there, his first game of the season?
I was excited for him when he got his touchdown. I probably was screaming the loudest on the sideline for him. Glenn and I this is our third season, I think, together now. I've seen him all 3 years play through things or play like coming off of injuries. And so my excitement for him and his work ethic and just the character that he has in general was just so great to finally see him get back on the field. The excitement in his face when he came to the sideline was like, Megan, I scored. And I'm like, I know, I'm so proud of you. Like, we work really hard in the training room. And so to finally see those things reflect on the field and them light up like it's Christmas for them when they score, it just makes me feel proud to see them take such pride in like what we do in the training room and see how it reflects on the field.
Now, do you ever have to be the one to tell a player when a player and a coach come to you that they're not ready to hit the field yet? You still need another week. Are you the one that has to be the bad person in the room?
Fortunately, that person. I am the bad guy sometimes, and I hate telling them that, but at the end of the day, I have to remind them that not only are they football players, but they're human beings, and they all have families that they want to get back to. And I want to make sure that they're healthy for football, but also that when football is over, that they can still go back to their families extremely healthy. And so just reminding them that at the end of the day, like, I care about their health and I want to take care of them. And taking a break now at the beginning of the season to withdraw like the longevity of like their health for the rest of the season is more important than putting it all on the line for one game. And sometimes it's hard for them to hear that, but usually after a couple of days, they're like, okay, Megan, you were right. Thank you. I appreciate it. So it's hard conversations, but I've had a million hard conversations at this point in time. So it's very sad to see like how upset they get. But trying to just be encouraging, and my interns encouraging them through like the rehab process in the training room. It just kind of goes a long way at the end of the day.
You talk a little bit about.
I'm sorry. If there was someone who might be interested in athletic training, what advice would you give them? What are some pros compared to some cons for studying athletic training?
I will say it's a lot of long hours, and it can be extremely exhausting and discouraging at times because you put in all this work to feel like not appreciated, because we are an unseen staff at the end of the day. Like, we're behind the scenes. I'm grateful for this organization because they make me feel like I'm not behind the scenes, but in most job settings, it can feel that way. But at the end of the day, like, if you love helping athletes, if you want to help people get back to doing something they love, work in the health career, but also stay in sports, um, to toughen through it all, it works out great. I know, like, to work with the Gunslingers, I had an application at the beginning of the year, and I had about 40 people apply, and I took 10 of the 40. It was overwhelming to see the excitement people have. But every day, I love to just tell my interns, like, it's exhausting. Like, you're going to see me, like, have my bad days. Players have bad days. Coaches have bad days. We're all humans at the end of the day. But you have to have love for it. Like, you can't just want, oh, it looks like fun, maybe I'll try it. Like, you have to love what you do to do it every single day. And I absolutely love this job. I wouldn't still be here 5 years later if I didn't love being here. Um, so I think that if you just want to get into athletic training, you have to make sure that you know why you want to do it and what's your why behind why you want to do it.
Now, Coach Mike, our strength and conditioning coach, is new this year. That's a new thing that we've added on. Coach Bain has talked to us about that here on the show a couple of times. His work and your work will really become more apparent the later we get and the longer we get into the season. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Why? Why is it later in the season that we're really going to notice what Mike has brought in, or what's different?
So with Mike coming in new to the staff this year, in the offseason, he's not able to like implement a good strength program into the team from the jump. He sent out workouts for the players to try, and it's on them to do it on their own. But now that we're in season, Mike is able to finally take the time and work on their mobility as a whole team, and then implement a strength program into our like weekly practice schedule. And over time, like right away, you may not notice it because like we've got to get into the groove of things. But as the players every single week continue to work out, continue to build their strength, we continue to work with them in the training room on mobility and other like nagging injuries they may have. Altogether, it's going to start to show the longevity of how we keep them healthy. Because right now it's, yeah, everyone gets banged up. We're playing football, they're tackling, they're hitting the wall. But the strength that Mike is building into their program is going to allow them to keep that strength moving forward, where without it, sometimes the guys start to, oh, I just practice and I go home. But now it's okay. Like you have practice, but now you have to stay strong on top of practicing. And it doesn't always correlate the same way when you're not adding the weights, when you're not adding the mobility into it. And so him and I are really working together as a team to make sure that the guys are staying as healthy as possible. And we can't prevent injuries from happening, but we can also make sure that when they happen, they're not as bad as they could have been if they wouldn't have been as strong as they are going into it.
You know, I've never put this together before, but I imagine as an athletic trainer, your least favorite part of this version of the sport is the wall.
Oh my goodness. When I got to arena, I have to tell my interns all the time, I'm like, I've only seen certain injuries because there is a wall. Like if the wall didn't exist, that injury would have never happened. But every time I see somebody hit that wall, my heart drops. I know Robert Seco has this crazy video of me pretending I went to run out for one of the players and he ended up being fine. And I turn around and I like face palm. And not because like I wasn't excited he got a pick, but I was upset because I was like, he's going to go over this wall. He's going to be hurt. Then I'm going to sprint and run for him. But he was okay. So yeah, the wall is 1-0 is what we say in the training room.
Yeah. Although one of your greatest moments caught on a Robert Seco video was when DJ Myers went headfirst into the wall last season, and you, like a superhero, we've joked all show about heroes and superheroes, but like a superhero, you just bounded over the wall so that you could get to DJ as quickly as possible.
I sure did.
It's my favorite moment of watching you out there, and I don't think live to see that, but watching that video, Robert does such an incredible job of capturing those moments. Yeah. But that was an incredible moment of you just getting over the wall to get to DJ as quickly as possible, because head first into the wall, we all know is scary. And our head coach could tell us something about that, because that was ultimately what helped end his career playing. Was head first into the wall.
Yes. Yeah. And that I don't even remember him being on the sideline to record that video, because we were in Bay Area last year. And when the video came out, I remember one of my athletic trainer friends sending it to me, and she was like, "You're amazing. Like, look at, like, this video of you shows what an athletic trainer does." And in my mind, I was like, I was just scared. Like, I was scared. Like, my brain goes to the worst case scenario. I don't care if they blow the whistle down or not, but if they look like they're down and they're hurting, and I knew DJ needed help, so I'm gonna jump the wall regardless.
Hero
I've
mode.
jumped the wall many of times. I don't care if the whistle's blown or not. If I get tackled, I don't care. I want to get to them, because at the end of the day, like, I just need to make sure that they're okay. So yeah, that video gives me chills every time I watch it. To, like, in my head, I don't see it that way, but to see what other people see when it happens was just crazy.
Right.
So there's a comment from James Palmer on that. He's asking about Duck, how he always seemed to land on a table going over the wall, and how scary that was. But I want to take that a step further, because it's true about Duck, but I'm wondering if in the years that you've been here, you said it's 5 years now, right?
Yes.
If there was any, I mean, that's part of the thing. I mean, it's scary on one hand, but it's also one of the things that makes this game so exciting. And some of these players, how they just play with this intense energy and reckless abandon, and they just give up their bodies to make plays. Was there one player in particular over all of those years where you were just like, you would have to pull them aside, or after a game, and you'd be like, stop that, I told you already, stop that, like, you scare me every single time, please don't? Was there anyone that just sticks out in your head?
Honestly, it was Duck. Every time Duck was by a wall, I was like, without fail, he's gonna go over the wall. When he was with Vegas and they came here this year, I looked to my interns and I said, I promise you, he's gonna go over a wall, because that's just what he does. In every game, at the end of the game, I'd be like, Duck, why? Just why? Him and probably Naquan Murray. Like, I remember Naquan at an away game went into the stands and he's like all underneath the bleachers, and I was like, what are we doing? And he was like, I'm sorry, Megan, but I had to get the ball. And I'm like, and I know, and I'm proud of y'all for catching the ball, but you don't have to scare me. And they're like, we're sorry, we know. And I'm like, they're like, but we know you're gonna come save us, so it's gonna be okay. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. So
Megan, who would you say is your role model, and what is your why as to why you're doing this?
ooh, my role model, I would have to say, not even athletic training related, just in life, is my mom. She is my number one supporter. She lives back home now. She's in Indiana, like Ohio area, with the rest of my family. But the last 2 years, she was here living with me, and she came to all of the games. She drove me to the airport. If somebody needed something, she was the first one to hop out there. But I've seen my mom take care of me and my brothers by herself my whole entire life, and she always wanted what was best for us, and she pushed me to be the best person I could be. And so over time, just knowing that, like, I had somebody to take care of me and somebody that was behind me in every step of the way, just showed me the type of woman I could be when I grew up. And she just loves me with everything in her body, and so I want to be able to give that back to people as well. And so my why is to just always show people that they have somebody that cares for them, no matter, like, at what the hardest times in their life. And so in these players, when they're injured and things happen, they sometimes can feel alone, even if they have family, but a lot of them are away from their families when they are playing here. I've seen guys just, like, get homesick and things like that. And so just making them feel like they're still at home, and making sure that they feel loved and cared for when they're here, and then watching them go back to play the game that they love after being injured, just makes me feel good inside. Like, I love to give back to people and make sure that they always feel loved. And my mom, when she was here, she used to make cheesecakes for the team when we would win, and especially the O linemen. Like, the O linemen loved my mom, and so now that my mom's not here living with me and she's back home, I still make the cheesecakes. And it's crazy to see how excited the guys get to just feel like they have a piece of just, like, normalcy outside of football. So that would be my why. And my mom is my everything. And I have a nephew. He ran out with me out of the tunnel last year for one of the games, and he watches the games now in TV back home in Ohio. And he called me the other day and he was like, Megan, you waved to me. I waved back, and I didn't wave, but he's 4 and he thought my hands moving were me waving. But he's my why. My nephews are my why. My family is my why. Giving back to the community is my why. Just caring for anybody and everybody that comes into my path, and showing them exactly what people caring can do. It can just go a long way.
Well,
That
we're
might be
I'm
the.
good.
blessed to have you.
I, I was gonna say that might be the best answer to that question. RC asked that question. That might be the best answer we've had on this show. Yeah, props to you, Megan.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing in our comment section, Jennifer, is that your mom?
That is my
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah, she's watching, and so she just she already knew all of that, I'm sure, but she just heard all of that again. I am super impressed. So your doctorate, you're working on your doctorate. When do you hope to complete that by, if everything goes to plan?
If everything goes to plan, the goal is this same time just next year. So I just finished
Wow.
classes, some of my finals on the road actually. We landed in Arizona on Friday and I had to finish my finals on Friday as well. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but I'm taking summer classes to try to finish as soon as possible. So if I come back to the team next year, which would be wonderful to finish the 6th year, I would like to finish my doctorate with the team because I actually finished my master's while I was with the team my 2nd year. So to finish 2 degrees with the team, it would be insane.
Awesome.
That is incredible. Just an incredible person. We all know who you are. We all see you at games. We see you on the video. Road games, home games, it doesn't matter. You're there. But for whatever reason, this is, I think, the first time we've ever had a conversation. And we used to stand right next to each other there in the Freeman Coliseum when I used to stand under the what am I thinking of? The uprights. They used to let me stand there in the end, and I would just stand there right next to the team. That was before ownership goes, hey, we're going to give you a table in the party section. Please go away. Please go somewhere else. Don't stand right there where you're in the way all the time. But we used to stand pretty much shoulder to shoulder and watch what's going on, and we were both concentrating on what's happening on the field. So we didn't have any conversations, but I've always been really impressed with the way that you handle yourself, with the way you carry yourself. You got 200 and 300 pound men, and you're telling them what's what. You're telling them what's going on, and they're listening, and that's something. To be trusted or loved or scary enough, whatever it takes in that moment to get them to respond, is impressive. That's an impressive quality to have.
Thank you. Yeah, it definitely has taken me a couple of years to get my grounding, but they do listen. They're extremely respectful. I never have any problems. They always joke around that I'm bigger and faster than them because I am able to carry a lot of them off the field and just make sure that they're good. But the joke in the football room is always Megan can run a 4 flat and a 40-yard dash if she tried, just because of how fast I run on the field for an injury. But I don't think I could.
So many folks that are checking in with us that are watching right now. Agnes Huddle, who you take care of her son week after week, says she's the best. Dolores Llamas, Leo's wife, big fan of the team. When somebody said that she's the best, when Agnes said she's the best, she responds with, yes, she is. Here's a name that you know. Cody Brooks says best athletic trainer in the biz.
Wow.
Josh, who works on the chain crew, I believe. Very excited to see you on here. And then one of the super fans, April Trotter. We love you. You're the best. And then, of course, your mom checking in because that's what moms do.
Yes.
James Palmer says, I bet she could put KG, which is Kevin Guy, in his place.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to talk some about Coach Guy here in just a minute. And I'll let you... I'll talk about Kevin Guy after you leave, Megan, so you don't get drawn into any of that fire. Are there teams that you really have enjoyed working with, other teams, like teams that have come into the Freeman or that you've gone to their place that they just do it better? They treat you like a guest and not a visitor kind of thing?
I pride myself in making sure that everyone feels extremely welcomed when they come to us. But honestly, us athletic trainers in the league are very close. So most of us have either been here for a very long time and or are new. And so I know I'm the Vegas athletic trainer and I have worked together a couple of times. And so he's been very great as well as the Tulsa athletic trainer. Him and I work very well together as well, coordinating, make sure we both have what we need. I know this year the Northern Arizona's athletic trainer was new, and so I let her know like if she needed just somebody to bounce ideas off of, what it's like to be in arena, because this is a completely niche setting as an athletic trainer. To just make sure like she felt supported at the end of the day if she needed anything. But overall, I think all of us work extremely well. We all communicate very well. I wouldn't say anybody ever feels like a visitor. I don't ever get like the football coaching side of it because like I don't interact with the coaches as much. I do now a little bit as equipment manager, and I deal with the snip back on the sideline, making sure it's working and working with the coaches with that. But overall, honestly, like the athletic training world is so small, and so it just kind of works very well that we all kind of just text each other, hey, do you need something? How's this going? Just little things like that. I absolutely love the Tucson athletic trainer. Her and I talk very often. When we were there this time, me and her could talk about athletic training for a very long time. And now that she has Coach Fuller over there, we talk about Coach Fuller being there now as well and seeing him this weekend and everything. So honestly, with it being such a small world, I like to introduce my interns to them as well because networking is just as important. And so we all kind of make little networks, and I've had people reach out to me like, oh, like, do you know if there's a job or anything like that? So as long as we all work together, it works out pretty well.
Ralph Judkins pointing out that in 2022 or 2023, he's not sure. He remembers that you had to pay out of your pocket for supplies for the team. Was that before the ownership change, or
it was? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So that would have been 22 because I think they changed mid-season 22, if I'm thinking correctly.
I think that was, that sounds about right. So yeah, I was paying out of pocket for a lot of stuff that the guys needed. I also have like build my collection of my own stuff over time. So sure. I always allowed the guys to use that stuff. But yeah, I didn't mind. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure that they were okay at the end of the day. And the guys were very appreciative for that. But yes, Ralph knows some of the struggles I have gone through because he's been a part of that. So yeah, I did pay out of pocket sometimes.
Ralph is pretty connected into this whole thing. He could tell stories on a lot of us around the team that we wouldn't mind him telling. He could also tell some stories that we probably don't want him to tell around the league.
He could write a book
around the team.
He really could.
And he may one day when all of this is the past, he may write a book.
What's your favorite moment of all of these 5 years?
Yeah.
The highlight, your highlight.
Oh my. I don't even.
Being on the Smoking Guns podcast?
It was. Actually, now that you mentioned, that has been the best highlight. I can't think of anything very specific. Every season has something that I'm like, oh, I remember that. But I guess the last thing that I really remember is when we played in Jacksonville last year, we won, which was an upset of a game. And I will never forget the energy the players had, the sideline, the laughter, the smiles. Really, anytime we went on the road, the way that we handled ourselves as a team, hearing the way fans speak so highly of our players. When we were in Arizona this weekend, we had a bunch of little kids sitting next to us on the sideline, and Sheen Butler Lawson was high-fiving all of them. And I had a dad come up to me and go, listen, your players are extremely like nice and respectful. And I hear the little boys going, when I grow up, I want to be just like them. And then of them goes, we love how you do your job. Like, she's just so ready to go. Like, you do, like, you're so awesome and all this. And so just being on the road and always hearing how highly they speak of our team, especially because when teams come to us, it may not always be the same type of like characteristics from other teams. So our guys really handle themselves extremely well on the sidelines. Even when fans say things, like coaches say things, players say things, they still don't let that bring their character out of them. And just always being a part of seeing them as their characters outside of football, I think is like my favorite part, because they are human. So I get to see both sides of it, and not everybody does. But I would say, like, especially this weekend, I got to hear the praise of our players' character and everything like that. And it's just, I don't even have favorite memories anymore. There's just a million stories I could tell and memories I could ponder on. But yeah.
You have been through 4 head coaches now. If I do my math right, that's Fred Shaw, Tom Manas, James Fuller, and now Jonathan Bain. I'm not going to ask you to say anything bad about those other three, but tell me what you like about working with Jonathan Bain and this coaching staff that he's put together. What's different around this team now than it has been in the past?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously Bain and I worked together last year when he was our quarterback coach, OC. And so going into this season, we had met and we were like, okay, like this is like what we're looking at, how we're looking. One thing I really appreciate about these coaches is because they all aren't too far from just being players themselves. They really understand the things that I come to them about and my like worries and concerns about certain players and issues we may be having. And so they are very receptive to what I have to say, and they take what I say and go back to the players to make sure things are corrected, and or like if we need to change or take somebody out of practice, like there's no question about it. And so they really listen to what I have to say, and they are make sure that they understand what's going on. They ask me questions. They come into the training room. They check in on me and my staff. I think Coach Bain every single morning goes to all of my interns, high fives them, talks to them, gets to know them. So this coaching staff is just very personable, and I think it makes my interns, at least I would like to think it makes my interns feel like more at home with everything, and that they're a part of the team no matter where we stand at. And so Bain has been great. I really appreciate him as a head coach, and he's done wonders for us in the training room and always make sure that we're taken care of. All of the coaches do. Every time we travel, every time we're at home games, Megan, do you have everything? What do you need help with? What can we do? How can we help? Just always making sure that we're helped. Like all the coaches have done that in the past, but this staff just really goes out of their way to make sure that we're okay. We need what we have. And honestly, we just all have a great time together. It feels like I'm in one big family. So I have a bunch of brothers and uncles and dads. Like it's just, I never feel like I don't have family around me. That is for sure.
Jordan Stubing checking in saying, I see y'all got the MVP on. So you are absolutely a big part of the organization, and they appreciate, and we appreciate as fans. I don't think we say it or point out enough how much we appreciate the work you do. But you are, I was joking about being a hero because I saved the watch party. If you didn't hear about that, you should go back and listen to that later because I saved the watch party. But the real hero is the one that keeps these guys able to play, because there are bigger things than football. As much as we love the sport, we want these guys to have a future that they're not always thinking about football as the thing that ruined their body, but something that made them better and not worse. And you make sure that happens. So we appreciate you. Fans appreciate you. The ownership appreciates you. And one of these days, they're just going to have a Megan night at the Freeman. That'll be the whole theme for a game, is just like, oh, wait, they have that. They have superhero night. That already exists.
I told them that for superhero night, my face should be on one of the superhero fan jerseys. I think
you need a jersey. You need a jersey.
Fan jersey.
And on the back, you can say, "We have their back."
Oh, there you go.
We might be on the
Jordan, I hope you're listening. We're designing the whole thing for you here. I know you are. Your mom says Gunslingers for life is her whole family.
Our whole
and
family.
Jordan says your number one fan, Jolene, is watching.
I love Jolene, Jordan and April and their whole family. Without them, I would not be here with the team still. They keep me sane. April and I work hand in hand together 24/7. I do everything on the road, but she does the behind the scenes everything for me on the road. So Jordan, April, I love them with everything in my heart. And Jolene is probably the funniest little girl I have met in this world, but I love that little girl. Like, she is like my little sister. And her and my nephew, when he came to a game, you would have thought they were two peas in a pod. The way they were running around, like they owned the downstairs, getting on the 6-shooter truck and stuff. So I just love that it's such a family organization and a God and family football organization that I never have to be scared that I can't stand up for my own morals and that they won't have my back, because no matter what, at the end of the day, they always make sure that we're all taken care of. So
sure. Well, Megan, we appreciate it. You've probably got homework to do if you're working on your doctorate, so we're going to let you go get your homework done. But open invitation. Anytime you want to come hang out with us and tell us stories of all of the players, the stuff that we don't know, we would love to hear about all of those things. And even if it has to be a couple of years past when those things have happened, we still would love those stories. But
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys
really
so much for
appreciate you.
having me.
You bet.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing.
She's Megan Ray, and she's the heart and soul of the team. She's the one that is keeping these guys, giving them, like I say, making sure that football is something that they look back later on in life, and they're not looking back on something that brought them down or made them worse, but something that made them better. That's her whole job.
Outstanding professional. She's just
Yes.
amazing. Yeah.
Watch her grow because in the 5 years.
Yep. Leo, and I know we don't make a big deal about it, but those 10 interns she was talking about, you know one of them pretty well, don't you?
Yeah. My son. Yeah, he's interning with Megan this season. He majored in a health related field and wants to get back in it and go into a sports medicine field as a what do you call it? Going back for his a master's degree, graduate school.
Yeah.
And you got to have a resume. They do all kinds of things that you have to do when you apply, and this is going to help him greatly. So very much appreciated for that, for the Gunslingers and Megan. He's always talking very highly of Megan because she's an amazing person. So, yep.
Well, we go to talking about somebody that we talk very highly of and we like very much. I want to talk for a minute about somebody I don't care for that much. It's time to talk a little bit about Kevin Guy. In case you missed the early part of the show, we will be ending things a little early. We're going to end about 8:30 so that those of you that want to watch the Spurs game can go and watch the Spurs game. Leo is forcing my hand. He said, "Look, I'm leaving at 8:30," and so we need to
playoff time, baby.
So you get to go watch them take on Minnesota. But let's talk a little bit about Kevin Guy. Let's enter into the world of Kevin Guy again. I really don't look for these things. I don't look for moments that, like, I can't wait to go on the show and talk bad about Kevin Guy, but he just keeps giving them to me. Last night, Kevin Guy and his Arizona Rattlers played against the Vegas Nighthawks. The Vegas Nighthawks won the game, but in the midst of the game, the Vegas Nighthawks coach and Kevin Guy got into a shoving match. In the middle of the game, two head coaches were shoving each other on the field. And then after the game, on the post-game interview, the reporter, the sideline reporter, did exactly what a sideline reporter should do and said, "Hey, what was that all about? What happened there?" And he I'm going to quote him. He said, "I don't know what that was all about. He decided he'd put his hands on me, but I'm going to go over there now and I'm going to beat his bitch ass."
Wow.
My ears are ringing. I don't like hearing that.
Wow. Talk about the opposite of professional. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, look, I've been a guy who gets frustrated with somebody else, or believe it or not, I've gotten into shoving matches before with somebody. But you know what? After a few minutes, I realized how ridiculous I look and how stupid that was. And if somebody were to ask me after that, I'm like, I got a little heated. I need to go over and make sure I apologize. Or I need to make sure he knows that, he's a great coach. He's a great guy. Whatever the case may be. That's me, but that's not Kevin Guy. Apparently he stews in that moment and then goes on the broadcast using language that probably shouldn't be on the IFL broadcast, and just still is holding this grudge and has decided, and I don't know, he may have walked right over to Mike Davis as he's coming out of the locker room, and they might have gotten into an altercation or a fight. But here's my problem. Here's my issue. And April Trotter says exactly what I'm saying. How do you not get not something? I don't want to hear about a fine. I don't want to hear. And April said maybe fined. I don't want to hear about a fine. Kevin Guy needs to be suspended, period.
Yep.
If you want to be the Major League of Indoor Football, which is your tagline that you use, I am looking at it on your website right now, IFL. If Todd Tryon and the IFL want to be the major league of indoor football, they need to lay down a gauntlet here and say, you can go do that in the AF1. You can go do that in the NAL. You can go do that in one of these regional indoor leagues, but we don't allow that here. That is not appropriate here. And you are going to have to pay some sort of penalty. If you want to be, otherwise you're a minor league niche sport and you always will be. If you want to be what you want to be, what you say you want to be, you have to take action against Kevin Guy today, this week. He should not coach for a week or two. You should boot him off of the sidelines. They'll be fine. They may take a loss. They probably won't. They're a really good team. James Palmer said Rattler's owner just needs to be better and fire him. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And what I'm afraid of, to be honest with you, James, and everybody else that's listening, is they're not going to do anything. They're just going to say, that's Kevin Guy. And if that's Kevin Guy, maybe that's a guy you don't want as part of your organization, your league, because he gives everybody a bad look. He makes this look. You know what he makes it look? You know what that is, Leo? That kind of post-game interview, you know what that comes from? Where that comes from? That is WWE kind of crap.
Yeah, that you're right. That's exactly what that is. That's when, it's like scripted violence or negativity to gain attention. But that's not what this league is about. I don't think.
I don't think that's what they want to be. Look, I'm not saying anything wrong with the WWE. I know a lot of people love wrestling. I'm not a wrestling guy, but I know a lot of people really love wrestling. But let's face it, it's entertainment. It's not sport. It just is. It's entertainment. It's not sport. Those guys are athletic. They're doing amazing things. I'm not taking anything away, but it's not sport. It's entertainment. And that's not what I think this league wants to be. I think this league wants to be sport, wants to be not scripted. James Palmer saying he just showing off how much pull he has in the league since how he ended last season. He's right, but it's not the way the league should operate. Ralph Judkins checking in says Philip is 110% correct. Kevin Guy will threaten to take his team to another league. Man, if that's what you want to do, if that's how you want to act, you take the Arizona Rattlers and you go be an NAL team. Cool. We would rather have the Arizona Rattlers here. I like that. I have a soft spot. I've mentioned this before. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Arizona Rattlers organization. It was the first arena football team that I really cheered for because their head coach was Danny White for years and years. And Danny White was the Dallas Cowboy quarterback when I was growing up. He was also the Dallas Cowboy punter when I was growing up, which is cool. He was the quarterback and the punter.
I remember that. Yeah.
So
he kicked barefoot, right? Did he punt barefoot?
No, I don't believe so. But he did both jobs for a little while in the NFL, and that's incredible. But Danny White was the quarterback growing up. You can get pictures of a very cute, blonde-haired, toe-headed little Philip in an 11 jersey because Danny White was number 11, and I thought he was the coolest guy. So the Arizona Rattlers were led for years by Danny White, and it was the first arena team I really cheered for. I would hate to see one of my big things about coming into the IFL is we were going to get to play against the Rattlers. And I had a soft spot for that organization. But you know what? If this is the organization you are and this is the attitude you want to have, I don't want to play that anymore. I don't care to play that team anymore. They can go. They can go somewhere else or they can get their act together. Because I think this should mean more. Jordan Stubing said, remember his comment at the end of the year about we'll handle that during the week. Doesn't sound like someone who's scared of anything. You're right. April saying at least our coaches are very professional, and that is the truth. Of all the coaches we've had, some that I am very close with and I like very much. I was just texting some jokes with Jonathan Bain the other day when we found out, hey, Leo, I texted you this too. Sam Castronova was like available for a minute. And I was like, hey, coach, Sam Castanova's still out there. He got released by the
He's in
Gamblers.
the state. He's in Texas.
He's here. Don't let him get on a plane. Let's get him back. Obviously that's not going to work out or has a long shot of working out, but I was just texting Coach Bain. I get along with some of them well, some of them I don't. We all know that me and Tom Manas aren't exchanging Christmas cards or any of that kind of stuff, but none of them, whether I like them or whether I didn't like them, whether I liked their attitude or I didn't, none of them would be Kevin Guy.
No,
they are all more professional and more stand-up people than that guy is. And I'd rather he not be in the league. I'd rather he not drag the rest of this down.
So are they afraid that without him, the team would lose or that it would not be as successful?
That's speculation. We really don't know, but
yeah,
he acts like he's not worried about anything for some. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it is what it is, but I could not let another. And again, I'm not looking for these moments. I'd rather not talk about Kevin Guy. Personally, I don't care to talk about the guy. But when he does something like this, and I have a platform about this league, I'm going to go ahead and say what I think. And the invitation's open, Kevin. If you're out there, Coach Guy, I'm sorry, let me be respectful. I would expect you to be respectful. I should be respectful. Coach Guy, if you want to come talk to us, the door is open. We will absolutely make some time for you on a show if you want to defend this kind of behavior. But in my opinion, even if it's somebody up here, I think Jordan Stubing said it feels like they like the publicity, not the look that everyone else is looking for. The social media
aspect of it.
If this is just a bit to get some views and get some likes and get some Twitter, some X conversation going, you can cut that out. Like, that's not the kind of publicity I think this league or your team needs. James Palmer says,
maybe he should be scissors and he should cut it out.
James Palmer said we would need the mute button ready. I would have to put an E on that particular episode, I think. I'd have to put an explicit E on that episode. That's okay. I've heard those words before. It's fine. Ralph Judkins says Mike Davis whooped him on Sunday. Mike was circumspect, saying both sides need to do better. That's the attitude that I would expect. Look, I'm not upset with Mike Davis or Kevin Guy for getting in a shoving match in the middle of the game. It's a little juvenile, but I understand when passions are high and you're just trying to do what you're trying to do to get your team a win, and this guy gets in your way, or this guy is where you don't think he belongs, and so you start shoving each other. Like, I get that. That's not the thing I have a problem with. It's what was said minutes later when there's been time to cool down, and Mike Davis does it right and says, man, we both need to be better. Meanwhile, Kevin Guy says, I'm going to go over there and kick his butt. I'm going to go over there and find out what's going on, and I'm going to kick his butt. And he doesn't say it that nice. It's just wrong. It's just not what we're looking for, and I'm done with that. I'm done with Kevin Guy talk for another week until he does something next week. We got another game coming up. Leo, the biggest mistake Gunslingers fans could make right now is feel like we have a 3-3 record already. We do not.
No, we don't.
I expect us to go up to Prescott Valley and take care of business and beat Northern Arizona, but nothing is guaranteed.
You got to play the game.
They're going to have to come out and play better than they played against Tucson. Do you feel like, because we dominated this team just 2 weeks ago, do you feel like this one is
well, they're going to have a chip on their
Do
shoulder.
you feel good
now.
about it? You think so?
Yeah, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder about it. They're going to have some motivation to play better, to have a better showing this time, and now it's going to be on their home field. So if the Gunslingers are coming in there taking them lightly or thinking we dominated them a couple weeks ago, we're going to do it again, then that's the wrong attitude to have. And I don't believe Coach Bain, with the experience he has as a player of this game, is going to do anything to encourage that sort of attitude. But yeah, no, a desperate team is a dangerous team, and they are desperate right now.
Yes, that's a great. Say that again.
A desperate team is a dangerous team.
That's absolutely true. And Northern Arizona is getting desperate. We talked a few minutes ago about how the Gunslingers are kind of in that fourth slot right now. If one of my least favorite games that Sports Talk Radio or ESPN plays is if the playoffs started today. They don't. They don't start today.
Mm-mm.
So it's a pointless exercise. It's stupid. But playing ESPN it's a game for a minute. If the playoffs started today, we'd be in the playoffs. But that means there are 3 teams below us that will desperately try to get into that spot by the end of the year.
Let them try. That's what
yeah.
I think. Let them try.
And Northern Arizona is one of them. So yeah, we can't. April is asking another fan base watch party this weekend? ? I don't know.
I would love it. I would love it. We can see if we can get that worked out and get a flyer out there. I'll have to. I mean, I don't know if Mattenga's can do it a second week in a row. If not, that's definitely understandable, and we'd just have to find a venue and one that stays open late would allow us to set up on their television and set up a streaming. So we will work on that. The game was just late Saturday and Sunday. This is Monday, so we haven't had, unfortunately, a lot of time to talk about it or make arrangements. But I'm with you, April. I think it would be great to get something going. So reach out, if anybody has a lead or a suggestion, reach out, message the Smoking Guns podcast Facebook page, or you can message me directly or RC directly. You can message Philip, but not being in San Antonio would kind of make it difficult for him to do anything. You can
message me. I will just ultimately send it right over to Leo and RC. Like if I'm the only one you can find, you can send it to me and I'll get it to them. But look, it's another late start. It's another 8 p.m. start because it's over there in Arizona. Ralph is already working. He said he just texted Matt of Mattenga's.
Nice.
So work is already happening. I love the fact.
I love the turnout we have, and I bet Matt did too. So that's great for him, business, and it's great for us. So
hopefully we can group show up.
Win.
Win for everybody. He made some money. You guys got to watch part of the game, and everybody had a great time. So, we'll see if we can put that together. Keep on the social medias, mainly Facebook is a place that you might want to look for information. And Michael Wayne Davis, if you're out there somewhere, once that flyer comes out, I will personally make sure I get it over to you in a message. So that you know about it and you don't miss out again if you want to make it out to Mattenga's. What's the address of Mattenga? Ralph, give me the address to Mattenga. I know he knows it right off the top of his head because he did the Brandon show out there for 2 years. And so I know he knows it.
Right? Or Cibolo?
Yes.
It's in
one of those shirts or Cibolo. It's right
3009 just off the 35. So yeah, I think it's still considered shirts there, but I'm not 100%.
James Palmer says it's in shirts. James Palmer knows.
Yeah.
Abel Garcia says 3009 and 35. You can also just put into your GPS Mattenga's and it,
I have the address right here. I was pulling up the flyer from last week. It's 6044 FM 3009 Suite 290 Shirts, Texas 78154. So 6044 FM 3009. Next to Walmart.
Next to Walmart.
Says. Yep.
April says.
And man, the food is good. The pizza's good. Yeah. Alex was there and he's had the pasta. And he said it was really good. He had the what's the white pasta? What's that white pasta Alfredo, called? Alfredo. And he said it was really, really good. Yeah. So definitely. I mean, just the food is worth alone. I think James Palmer said something earlier, talking about how we didn't have the the video feed up, but the food and the company made it worthwhile. Now we'll have a whole game on top of that. It'll be amazing.
There you go.
We are the Smoking Guns Podcast. We are going to pull out of here a little early tonight and let Leo go watch some basketball game that he's interested in. I don't know. Is basketball even a thing? Do they still play that professionally?
It is.
Or is it some sort of amateur thing that goes on? I don't know. I'm a
Mavericks fan, in San Antonio, it is still a thing that they play, but in Dallas, it isn't. Sorry.
No. About 14 months ago, the franchise in Dallas just ceased to exist.
And not in Palacios either.
About 14 months ago, we're just no more Dallas Mavericks, at least for the time being. We get Kyrie back, and Cooper Flag still plays like he plays. We'll see what happens. But for now, nothing coming from the Mavericks. But we'll let you guys get to the Spurs watching because that's what you want to do. We are the Smoking Guns Podcast. We're a podcast all about the gunslingers of the San Antonio, the San Antonio Gunslingers of the IFL. We are brought to you by some amazing folks. And we promise as part of our deal with them that we will make sure we shower them with love every time we come on the air. Those folks are Robert Seco, Mo and Iris Ferrante, James and Jessica Palmer, Jay Washington, Jordan Stubing, Kim and Greg Nelson. We really, really appreciate. I don't want to talk about it, Abel. Abel says, how about them stars? Don't want to talk about it. Kind of upset over what's happened to my stars in the last week. They are out of the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time in 4 years. They will not go to the Western Conference Finals. They will not even make it out of the first round. That's a bummer. If you want to be a part of that Patreon group that we just read out, you can go to patreon.com/smokinggunspod. That's smoking no G, guns with a Z, P-O-D. We use that money to pay our bills so that this show can happen and to send kids off to football camp and cheer camp at the end of the year or into the summer, end of the season, close to the end of the season when the Gunslingers hold that. We make sure that kids that would not otherwise be able to participate in camp get to go to cheer camp and to football camp. If you want to be a part of that, if you don't have the money to be a part of that, don't do it. We're not asking for any money that anybody needs ever. But
no,
if you want to be a part of that and you have $5 or $10 or $20 a month that you can toss our way to help us make those things happen, you can go to patreon.com/smokinggunspod. And you can join our Patreon group and help us make the show go. We are on social media just about everywhere. You can go to Smoking Guns Pod, Smoking No G, Guns with a Z, P-O-D, on all of the social media sites, and that will get you to us. We use Facebook most often. We are old people.
Very old.
What old people do.
Mm-hmm.
We do the Facebook thing. Anything else? Have we forgotten to cover anything else? I got 2 more minutes before I promise
to all the
Leo.
mothers and grandmothers.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
That's
and
up.
Congratulations to Abigail Higginbotham. She has been on the air here before as part of our Holstered Guns podcast. This Saturday, she is graduating with her associate's degree from Morton County Junior College, and she's headed off this summer to Tyler to be at UT Tyler. To finish up her associate's degree. So happy Mother's Day, happy graduation to those that are graduating, especially Abigail. If you've never watched our Holster Guns episode on Alien from 2 years ago, you should go back and do that because Abigail was our guest as we talked about Alien, which was fun as a dad to get to talk to his daughter about a piece of art. Kind of a cool moment. With all that being said, if you're looking for the best indoor football opportunity, show, experience. You know what? You're not going to find it over in Arizona at the Desert Diamond Arena with Kevin Guy.
Nope.
I mean, that's going to be kind of rough. You're not going to find it in Vegas, although Vegas is a great city and a lot of fun. You're not going to find it down in Florida with Jacksonville or Orlando. And you're not going to find it up in Green Bay where it's probably still snowing right now. If you're looking for the best indoor football experience, the 210 has got something to say.
Bang, bang.
All right. Thanks so much, y'all. Go watch the
I'm
Spurs.
back.
Go Spurs, go. I'll give
Spurs
you a
go.
go Spurs,
Spurs
go.
go.
All right.
Spurs go.
Want to see them. Why not? Let's let them win a championship. Heck, why not? I'm all
hot.
about it. Yeah,
I
you're in
bet.
a warm little
Yeah.
outfit there. I can't imagine. I was surprised that you were dressed up in it the whole time. You told us at
I
some
know. I
point
might
you made
change.
camera was going to go dark and you were going to change, but that didn't happen. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody, make sure you send a message or a note to RC right there, who is responsible for getting Megan lined up.
Oh, yeah.
And here, a lot of the guests that we have that are really, really cool, this person does all the work on it.
Yep.
She makes the ask and makes it happen. We just say, yeah, sounds good to us. Let's do it. So make sure you let RC know that we appreciate the work that she does to make the show come together. We appreciate everybody. Go watch the Spurs. Go Spurs, go. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.